I'm gonna show you a system today that could help you find winning ads 5 times faster. Whether your goal is to increase revenue, see more customers on a daily basis, or really nail your marketing so that you can eventually open up more locations, getting really good at paid ads is probably worth your time. So this video should be useful to you. And if you don't know me, I'm Tyler Erickson. I'm the founder of a new AI automation agency. I am not a business guru with a decade of experience. I am not a millionaire, and I definitely cannot solve all of your problems. That's for sure. But if you specifically want to get more customers from paid ads, then this video should be useful to you. So we're gonna go over 5 main points that you have to understand, and then we're gonna take a look at an AI system that can make this whole process even faster. So a lot of local business owners use social media as a way to generate traffic for their business. As in, they use social media to try and get new people to learn about their business and eventually become their customers. The problem with this approach is that the people watching your content on social media probably live hundreds, if not thousands of miles away. So you could get 10,000 or even 100,000 views on your social media videos and have 0 viewers who actually live close enough to you to become your customer. And this is because the social media algorithms don't really care about your business. They really only care about the amount of watch time that people spend on their platforms. So for example, if you own a pizza shop in Miami, Florida, and you post videos of pizza on the internet, then Instagram is not going to recommend your content to people who live in Miami, Florida, but it will recommend your content to people who enjoy watching videos of pizza, whether or not they live in Miami, Florida. This fundamental reason is why I believe that for a local business owner such as yourself, you should use paid advertising as a way to generate traffic, and then use your social media not to generate traffic, but to nurture that traffic along with your website in one system. But the question still remains, how do you use paid ads in the most effective way? Because you as a business owner, if I had to take a wild guess here, you probably have a lot of shit that you have to deal with, right? You have to deal with your team. You have to deal with customers. You're operating a physical business in the real world. You have a ton of stuff that you have to take care of. And there's probably a lot of stuff that's just stressing you out, right? I know firsthand that being a business owner in any regards, whether you own a small business, a medium business, or a large business, is just stressful in general. It's meaningful, but it's stressful. You want to use the smallest amount of mental energy possible to make paid ads highly effective for your business. So your real bottleneck is the fact that you're not testing enough ads. If you tested 500 creatives tomorrow, you would be able to find a winning ad and get more customers. There's no doubt about that. An actual statistic that you should hear from Meta advertising is that the top 1% of advertisers test 11 times more ad creatives than the rest of the 99%. And so if your bottleneck is creative volume, then another thing that you have to understand is that the hook of your ad decides whether or not your ad will work. I want to use an example to drive this point home. If you're somebody who scrolls on social media, and I don't personally scroll on social media because it makes me really, really mentally ill, just being honest. But if you're somebody who scrolls on social media, like you scroll TikToks or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, then answer me this question. Do you watch every single video that you scroll past? No, you don't. You probably, if I had to guess, skip most of the videos that you scroll on 5 seconds in, or before even watching them for 5 seconds. And so that means that the first 5 seconds are what decide for you if you're going to watch that video or not. And so for the person making that content, making the first 5 seconds or the hook maximally effective in getting your attention and hooking you in to watch the rest of the video is what decides if their video, goes viral or gets views. And that concept can be applied to basically everything within marketing as a whole, but especially paid advertising on Meta platforms. Because the thing is, on Meta platforms especially, you're usually able to scroll past an ad in the same way that you would scroll past a TikTok. And so if it is the hook that decides if your ad works or not, then by replacing the hook of your ad, you basically create an entirely new ad. If you think of your advertising as lottery tickets, so every single ad that you test has some small percentage chance of working and becoming a winning ad and actually getting you a lot of customers. By replacing the hook of the ad, you have replaced the part of the ad that decides whether or not that lottery ticket is a winner or not. And so if you just replace the hook, you have created an entirely new ad. The bottleneck that you're after is a system that can allow you to test more ads quickly without using as much mental brain power. And so you can save a bunch of mental brain power by just filming more hooks. And so here's the system that I am talking about in today's video. You can just film individual hooks and then attach them to the body of your advertisement. You can save massive amounts of time and energy as a business owner if you create advertisements in this way. I would recommend that you try doing 10 hooks for every single ad that you film. And if we want to think about the actual time cost that you are going to save by using a paid ad system like this, then let's take a look. So if you're filming a hook and a body, how long is the hook? I mean, it can be a lot of different times. Let's just say it's 5 seconds. Let's be generous. And we can say that the body is like 40 seconds long. If we wanted to film 10 ads, we would have to have 10 times 5 seconds plus 10 times 40 seconds, which if my math is correct, that's 450. Yeah, that's 450 seconds of time. And really, you're not just saving the seconds of time that it takes to film the ad, you're also saving all of the time that it takes to script the creative and come up with ideas and edit the videos too. But this is representative of how much time you're saving overall. So 450 seconds to film 10 individual ads if you're filming 10 individual bodies and 10 individual hooks, okay? 450 seconds. But if we use this method where we film 10 hooks and then one body ad, that's gonna be 10 multiplied by 5 plus 1 multiplied by 40, which comes out to be 90 seconds long. So this is exactly 5x faster. And so if your bottleneck as a business owner is the amount of ad creatives that you test, then this system is gonna help you reach your goals for paid advertising 5 times faster. So now I'm gonna share with you 4 marketing core fundamentals of marketing that you need to understand if you want your paid advertising to be effective. Because the thing is, you can test all of the ads you want, but if your advertising is terrible, then it doesn't matter how many ads you test. If your lottery tickets have a 0% chance of being a winner, then you could test infinite lottery tickets and it doesn't matter. So your advertising needs to have a baseline level of competence. But the good news is that a vast majority of people who advertise don't even understand the very basics. And if you just get the basics right, then you pass 99% of advertisers. Now, these core fundamentals that I'm gonna teach you right now, they are very easy to understand in concept, but they are very hard to apply in the real world to your advertising material. If you just nail these 4 things, your advertising will be so much better. I can guarantee you that. Okay, the first advertising core fundamental that I'm gonna teach you is highly clear communication. What you have to understand, and what's really interesting about advertising and marketing, is that there is a very large amount of overlap with human communication in general. So a lot of marketing concepts are really just human psychology and communication concepts. And this is one of them. Highly clear communication is the key to good communication. You are supposed to make sure that all of the words that you say in your advertising material are the lowest grade level that you can possibly get them to be. You want the vocabulary in your advertising to be very, very basic. And the thing is, at least in America, I don't know if this is true for other countries, I think something like 50% of people, of adults, cannot read above a 5th grade reading level. And so our country is cooked as far as comprehension goes. Now, verbal comprehension is a little bit higher than that usually, but still, the point remains. Most of the time, the people watching your ads have their brain turned completely off. Like, think about it. When you see an advertisement on TV, do you really focus on that advertisement? Probably not. Your brain is probably kind of turned off. You're kind of mentally checked out, chances are. Now, there are some people who will see your advertisements and who will really lock in and pay attention to what you're saying. But you have to assume that a vast majority of your customers do not really give a fuck about your ad, and you have to make it really, really easy for them to understand the message, okay? Marketing concept number 2 is benefit focus. So the reason that anyone buys your product is because, or service, is because they believe that it can get them some type of end result that they desire. People do things for their reasons, their own personal reasons. We all have things that we desire and goals that we are chasing that are inside of our head, right? For example, when I go to the gym next to my house, I do not give a shit about the company or really the founder or their brand or their mission. I really don't care. I go to the gym because I want to look good and I want to feel good. That is my end goal, and that's the reason that I'm using the gym. All of your customers, no matter what type of business you are, they have some type of end result that they want in their head that they're thinking about when they're deciding if they should become your customer or not. And that end result, you have to find what end result the marketplace really wants from your business, and you have to say that in your advertising. That's what you have to promote. You don't promote your brand, you promote the end results that your company, that your brand can get for other people. That is what I mean by benefit focus. Next core advertising concept is name your audience's exact circumstance. The more specific you can get when you are naming the circumstance of your audience, the more that they will feel that your product, your service is designed for them. So for example, when I started this video, I said, I'm gonna show you a system that can help you get paid ads 5 times faster. And whether your goal is to, whether your goal is to see more customers on a daily basis, expand to more locations, or increase revenue, this video should help you. And then I mentioned that a lot of local business owners post on social media to generate traffic. If you are a local business owner and you post on social media to generate traffic, and your goal is to open up more locations or see more customers on a daily basis, and you're also using paid advertising, this video was probably, chances are, at least fairly compelling to you. And that is because I am naming your circumstance. And so you feel like that whatever I am educating you on in this video is made for you and can actually help you. And the same goes for any type of advertising material. Now, as a local business owner, you might not have a niche avatar that you're really serving. So it's not like you're just serving women or you're just serving men. You might have that, but not always, right? My gym doesn't say, oh, we're only going to serve men or we're only going to serve old people, even though everyone in that gym is like over the age of 65. They don't say that. Anyone can use the gym. You want to focus on what your audience's desire is and what their pain is, because chances are they're trying to solve some type of pain, some type of lack in their life by using your business. And that is also something you want to focus on in your advertising. Okay, and the more specific you can get with the problem, the more compelling your messaging will be. And so you want to name the exact real world moments where your avatar feels the pain of not having a solution like yours in their life. The last marketing concept that I want to teach you today is visual proof. So you want to use proof in your advertising that your brand and your company actually delivers results for people and actually can get the result that you promise in your advertising. You want to use proof for that, right? But the strongest form of proof by far is visual proof. That is the form of proof that is the hardest to fake, and it is the most compelling to people. So instead of just saying in your advertising, we have 1,000 5-star reviews, instead go through and take a screenshot of every single 5-star review that you have, put it together in one massive image, and then show that image. Instead of saying, we have lines going out the door, literally take a picture of a line of your customers going out the door and then put that in your advertising material. It is always more compelling when the proof, when the testimonials in your advertising messaging is visual based. Use proof, and especially use visual proof if you have it. And I promise you, this is probably really easy for you to understand, but this is not so easy to do. It's a lot harder to actually do this and implement these fundamentals into your advertising. But if you do it, you will be ahead of 95% of people who do paid ads. I can virtually guarantee you that, because most people do not apply these concepts. So nail these concepts and you'll have winning ads. Use this system and you will be able to make more ads and test them faster. Now I want to go over a broad overview of an AI system that can help speed up this process even more. Don't worry, this will not turn into a complex technical tutorial. I'm just going to show you the overview of this system, and then you can use these tools and figure out the technical details yourself. So the best AI tool to script your ads for you is going to be believe it or not, ChatGPT is the best tool for scripting your ads. But here's the thing that a lot of people misunderstand about using ChatGPT to create marketing material. It's that ChatGPT does not have some type of database on what type of advertising is performing well in the marketplace right now. How most people will use ChatGPT to write advertising scripts is they will say something like this. They will say, hey, write me an ad for my XYZ business. That's it. That's all they say. Now, here's the problem with that, is that ChatGPT could answer this prompt in a billion trillion different ways. There's more ways for ChatGPT to answer this prompt than there are atoms in the observable universe. I'm not even shitting you. There are infinite ways that ChatGPT could answer this prompt. And so if you use a prompt like this to generate advertising material, what you are doing is you are essentially leaving your advertising material up to random chance. You are rolling the dice and hoping that ChatGPT just produces something good from magic, from thin air. But that is obviously a terrible idea because, and you will know this, if you write scripts for your advertising with ChatGPT using a prompt like this, it will probably give you terrible material that will not work and will not convert into more customers for you. So what you have to do instead is you need some type of source for winning ads that are performing well in the marketplace right now. And then you feed that data into ChatGPT. So ChatGPT has some more specificity and some more direction on what it actually has to create to make compelling advertising. And so for that, we use Apify. Apify is a scraping tool, so it basically just collects data from the internet. And what you can do is you can connect Apify to the Meta Ads Library API. You can take winning ads data. Now, listen, you won't be able to know how much money someone is making from an advertisement, but what you can do is if an advertisement has been running for more than like a week, you can be fairly sure that the person who is running that ad is probably making money from that ad. So you want to filter based on how long the advertisement has been running for. Then you can collect a bunch of winning ads data and basically compile that data and then send it to ChatGPT along with context on your specific business so it can actually rewrite those winning ads in a way that makes sense for your business. Then you can use ChatGPT to actually write effective scripts instead of using this Russian roulette style prompt that it could answer in a million different ways and just leaving your advertising up to random chance. So scrape with Apify, use ChatGPT to write the scripts, or you could just do all of this manually. It's not like AI has fucking superpowers, bro. You can do this manually, but like these AI tools just make the job easier. So yeah. And then I also recommend 11 Labs. If you're not someone who's good at verbal communication, you can use 11 Labs to basically generate an AI generated voice that can speak very, very clearly in your advertising material. And remember, one of those core fundamentals that I went over is clear ass communication. You want your ads to be very easy to understand. If you have trouble speaking very, very clearly, which a lot of people do have trouble with, I would personally recommend you just practice your verbal communication skills because I think it's fun and it's a really valuable skill to you as a human being because it makes you more effective in any domain that you choose to enter as a person. It just makes you more potent. But that's besides the point. If you don't want to do that and you want to just save the time, you can use 11 Labs. I've seen a lot of people doing paid ads with AI generated voice, and they're actually not bad advertisements. So you could go with something like this. Okay, now we have the scripting of the ad. We have the verbal communication of the ad. We have the data that we actually need to script the ad. What about the visual element? Well, you could use something like Sora to generate the visuals, but honestly, if you want my take on the marketplace overall right now, I think there are a lot of consumers, a lot of people who do not like AI generated content. They don't like AI as a whole. They are scared of AI replacing them. They just don't like it. They don't like AI generated stuff. And so I think if you put something that's very obviously AI generated in your advertising, there is a chance that you could lose some trust from your audience base, right? You could lose a little bit of trust there. And the thing is, Sora, you could use it, but people can usually tell that this is generated by AI. People can tell when something is generated by AI for the most part. It's not like hard to tell. We're still at the point where AI generated video is still kind of weird looking. So you're sort of able to tell if something is AI generated. So I would actually caution against using something like Sora. Now, what I would do instead of Sora is you can make an AI generated avatar that is basically like a person on a camera talking, and it looks very, very real. And it's almost impossible to tell the difference between an AI generated avatar speaking on a camera and a real person speaking on a camera. Now, full disclosure, by the way, this is a real video. I will never use AI to speak for me on camera because and like make videos for me, because I value the verbal communication practice that I get from filming these videos myself more than I value the time that I would save by using AI to do it for me. So full disclosure, if you ever see me on camera, it's the real me, bro. This is proof, by the way, because AI cannot generate video like this. Anyways, I think that's everything that I wanted to go over. Hopefully this video helped you. Goodbye.